Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to be taking a look at Python static methods. Static methods are kind of interesting. They're sort of one of those things where it's like, oh, do we really need these in Python? But sorry, we're going to do them anyway, kind of a thing like that. So a static method is simply going to be a method built into a class that doesn't access the class or the instance of the class. Goofy, right? So let's go ahead and create ourselves a class called math. Ooh, let's be careful here. Okay, operation. Keep it nice and simple. Fantastic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to completely skip any of the def inits here, anything along those lines. Instead, I'm simply going to add some static methods. So I'm going to go ahead and give myself an @ real quickly and type in static method, and I'll define my first one. Now, I'll see define will be add. Keep it nice and simple. I'll do number 1, number 2. Keep it nice and simple. And I'll go ahead and return number 1 plus number 2. Nice. That's it. Now, what you're going to find so interesting about this is completely independent of anything actually inside of my option. So now if I wanted to actually use this static method, what I would do is I'd have to do something goofy like this. Print operation, the name of the class, dot, ready, add, and then of course I could do the two values here. I could do 5 and 5. If you run the code, you'll see that it returns a value of 10. Now you're sitting here going, so basically all you did is you took a regular function and you shoved it into a class in order to be kind of fancy like that. Yeah, yes, you're not wrong. And that's basically exactly what they're used for. All right, so let's see if we can actually use this for something. And again, I think the best uses of these are really just combining functions into one little spot. But since you're here to see this getting complicated, let's get a little complicated. Let's go ahead and create a vehicle class. And this is everybody's kind of favorite one to do. And inside of this class, what we're going to do here is we're going to pass ourselves. We're going to do miles driven. And of course, we're also going to do, I'll make this, we'll do gallons used. You can see where we're going with this. So keep it simple. We'll do self miles driven. And again, not doing anything too crazy here. Actually, we should probably do driven to be consistent here. Driven equals miles driven. Super duper. Self.gallons used. Gallons. Stop. Gallons used. Just like that. And of course, let's go ahead and create some standard functions here, a couple methods, make our life easier. We'll do calculate, we'll do a miles per gallon here. We'll pass self. We don't need to do anything like that. We can just do the math. Let's see here. Return self dot, what do we got to do? Miles driven. That's easy. Miles driven divided by self dot gallons used. That makes sense. Yeah, easy. Self dot gallons used. Fantastic. So that's going to get us miles per gallon, but let's be complicated. Let's go ahead and do liters per mile. Let's make things complicated. Let's see, do this. We're going to pass out self here. Helps if you do this correctly. LPM. That sounds pretty good to me. And we're going to have to get a little more fancier here. Let's see here. Liters used. I got to do the math here. Self.gallons used. We're going to have to actually do the math there. Oh, no, we did that correctly. Divided, I got to do the math here. Divided by, actually, no, let's just do the multiplication. Keep it simple. 3.78541. I think that's the value. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So then, of course, all we have to do here is return, let's see here, liters, self.miles driven divided by liters used. Not bad. So now we've got miles per gallon, and we also have liters per mile if we want to do something a little bit different here as far. Whoa, ayo, ayo. Did you see that? Almost did it. Almost did it. There we go. So now we have liters per mile as well as miles per gallon. Now, let's go ahead and create ourselves a combined mileage here. And I'm just going to make things interesting here. I'm going to go ahead and do both of them, and we'll return it as a tuple because we're silly. But we're going to do this as a static method this time. This is going to be kind of messy. Ugh. So let's do @static method. And all it's going to do is going to combine those two into one little piece there. So it kind of comes out as a nice, neat tuple here. So def combine mileage. Of course, we need to not pass anything. Isn't that weird? So what we're going to do here is we're going to do miles driven. And we're going to do gallons used. Kind of keep it nice and simple. Actually, no, we don't need to do that. We're going to do MPG and LPM. These are going to be the two values that we pass. This is so ugly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to return a nice little tuple here, and I'm going to do MPG kind of LPM. Ew, what an ugly one. Let me go ahead and define what I'm doing here. Combine the LPM and MPG into a tuple. Why not, right? So let's go ahead and put this thing together now. So let's create ourselves a vehicle. And like I say, I keep this pretty simple. Is a vehicle. Yes, we are allowed to do this because one's capital, one's not. Let's see here. Miles driven. We'll do 300 miles driven, and we'll say we used 25 gallons. It's you can already do the math there. So let's see if we can figure this one out here. So, oh boy, this is so messy. Ugh, I hate this. So, oh boy, here we go. Here we go. Print. Look at how nasty this is going to be. Vehicle. Oh boy. So then we have to come in here and we need, remember, we're using a static method here. So static method dot combined mileage. Wow. Vehicle dot, what is he here? This would be LPM, or do we have to calculate MPG? I calculate MPG. Whew. Vehicle dot calculate LPM. Oh my goodness. Ew. Let's run that. Uh-oh. Let's see here. Which one did I do? Gallons underscore used. Ah. When I created it originally, I did gallons instead of gallons used. All fixed. So if we come down here, it works. You can see it took all of this nastiness and it shoved it into one nice little tuple for some reason. Again, I'm not 100% sure why you would do it that way. Personally, I would just have it as a return. But you can see that the actual vehicle, the class itself, did the job of combining those two. And yes, you could probably point out that I literally could have just gone like that and bam, now I've got myself a tuple. Woo! But again, because science, so we have to show you an example of it. Static methods, I find that I don't use very often. Like I said, the biggest use of static methods is basically creating a class of a bunch of functions so that I can just kind of quickly get at them, so to speak, when I'm doing specific little options. Like I said, I don't use them very often, but they are there for those of you who like to experiment with them. Enjoy.